for coming out tonight. You know, driving down here, I was thinking about an old movie called King's Row. I don't know if any of you ever saw it. It wasn't. Ronald Reagan played a young man who was in love with a girl, and Ron was from the wrong side of the tracks. Her father was the most prominent citizen in the town. He was a doctor. Reagan's character was a guy who he was the star athlete, and everybody loved him, but he came from a humble background. And when he had a minor injury on his leg, the girl's father, the doctor, amputated his leg in order to destroy his hope, in order to break the bond that he had with the doctor's daughter. And when they woke him up and he was lying there, he had the famous line, "Where's the rest of me?" But we forget what he said after that. They told him that they amputated his leg. His friend, the psychiatrist, which was a brand new practice at the time, told him the truth, that he had done it to try to break his spirit, and Ronald Reagan just laughed. How did he think that taking his leg could stop him? So where are we tonight? We're about the same place we were in 2009. We're not any further back, we're not any further forward, except that we have a lot stronger network than we did in 2009. We've gotten a little wiser and a little smarter. We know who our friends are and who they're not. We know who we can count on when the chips are down.
Right.
Not Roberts.
So we've learned that the power to tax is ultimate. That wasn't a big surprise to me. It feels like we've been ultimately taxed for a long time in this country. We also learned that we have to rely very heavily on the people we send to Congress. You can't take that duty lightly when you walk into the voting booth. You can't take it lightly in November, and you can't take it lightly in August. You can't take it lightly in the primaries. You can't take it lightly with the people you line up behind when they ask you, "Will you stand by me when I run for office?" The Supreme Court has just given Congress the ultimate power to drive any behavior that they choose. They can make us buy any car that we want, that they want. They can make us change our homes. They can make us move. They could literally empty out a state by imposing an onerous tax on living there. And Chief Justice Roberts said so. He said essentially that the Congress can do anything it wants through the tax code.
So we get rid of the tax code.
Amen.
Well, we get rid of the 16th Amendment eventually, and the 17th needs to go along with it. But in the meantime, we have a responsibility. We have to elect to Congress, not just here, but in every district across the country, people who understand the responsibility that they're signing up for. Congress has a remarkable amount of power, but the Constitution gives the House of Representatives, the People's House, the power to collect and spend our tax dollars. Nothing else. The reason that they gave it to the House and not to the Senate, not to the executive branch, was because the House is supposed to be closest to the people. They understand our needs and our problems and our limitations. Not just our financial limitations, but our emotional limitations. Today, I think with 104 degrees on the thermometer that I just saw, we're right at every limitation that you can possibly put on American taxpayers. And from now to November, we have a straight line march. We have a straight line, and we know what we have to do. We have to remove from office anyone who fails to understand that our livelihood, our existence as a free nation, depends on our ability to conduct our lives the way we choose, free of the arbitrary rule of other men, and free of irresponsible, greedy politicians who want to take what you have, distribute it to their friends, to advance their own careers. I reminisced on Benjamin Franklin's line to a woman after the Constitutional Convention who asked, "What have you wrought us?" And he said, "A republic, if you can keep it."
Right.
Today, maybe the Supreme Court did us a favor. They took the burden of sustaining this republic off of every shoulder in the world except ours. And honestly, I don't think there's a stronger shoulder to rely on than the people standing in front of me right now. Thank you very much. God bless you.